with another episode, and I'm here with Aubrey Dawkins, who I personally haven't seen in a while. Aubrey, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well, and for those who don't know, where are you at right now? What time is it?
I'm in Göttingen, Germany, and it is currently 8:44 p.m.
I still don't know how to pronounce it because I was looking up to do notes and everything, and I was like, is it Göttingen? Is it? I don't know.
Göttingen, yeah, it's it's got the accents over the O's, and it's you got to practice a couple times to get it right.
Definitely gonna stick to English because
Yeah.
but how's that been for you? I mean, you've been out there for a couple months now, so are you learning German? Like, what's going on?
It's the process has been really fun. I'm really enjoying it out here. As far as learning German goes, I pick up words here and there, but nothing. I can get a word out of a sentence every now and then if there's a conversation going on, but I'm not picking up as much as I like to, put it like that.
What about the food? What's been different? You've eaten any type of anything special? What's good out there?
Honestly, the food out here is really good. The quality is amazing. I haven't really had a bad meal yet. As far as the traditional like German cuisine goes, I mean a lot of sausage, potatoes, and such things as that. But I mean, the food quality is great. So anything they make is usually very very good. And so yeah, I mean I've enjoyed the meals I've had, and that's definitely not an area that's lacking out here, put it like that.
All right. I could respect that. It's not home cooking, but we do
Oh,
what we
no,
can.
it's definitely not the home cooking, but it is good, and I appreciate the healthier variety of it.
No Chick-fil-A.
No, none of that.
All right, so let's just jump right into it. Obviously, we know who your dad is. Your
Yep.
dad is Johnny Dawkins. So what was it
hmm
like just growing up having him as a dad when he played in the NBA and then of course coaching you?
Well, unfortunately, he had me the same year he retired, so I never experienced his time in the NBA. But after that, obviously, when I came around, it's been great. Obviously, it's a lot of advantages to that having a father who's big in the basketball world. So it's just been really awesome. It's taught me a lot. Obviously, been paramount in my successes and all the experience I've had with the game. And I mean, he's a teacher that I mean, like I said, it's priceless. You can't. I'm very blessed to for him to be my father and allow me to see the things and put me in situations that I've been in. And so it's been fun.
And then when you first started playing basketball, did you know like, okay, my dad played basketball, so I'm gonna play, or did you kind of find that love for the game on your own?
Uh, I, I I think I found it on my own. Like obviously, you play a bunch of sports when you're a kid, um, and you kind of find one that sticks. And maybe him, obviously being a basketball coach, yeah, maybe influenced me, obviously. But at some point in my career, in high school, I kind of realized that this is what I want to do. This is the game I love for sure. And so at that point, I took it upon myself to further my game and really pursue it and really become dedicated to it. Not that I wasn't before, but to really just hone in on that and know that this is what I want to do. Now it's like a mission of mine. But before I was just obviously playing for the love of the game, but now I really want to play in college. I want to be a pro. So yeah, that's kind of how it went.
And then of course you started playing high school basketball in North Carolina, and then when your dad
Yep.
went to Stanford, you transferred. So what was it like just completely moving across the entire country and playing in a whole different style of basketball?
Yeah. It was different. So I didn't I played I started high school in California, so I didn't play high school till I got to California. So I did up to seventh grade in North Carolina, then transferred then moved to California. Then I did eighth grade and went through high school out there. And so I mean, it was at that point. I mean, I'm seventh and eighth grade basketball. I mean, it's just kids running around at that point. It's not. It's the game it hadn't become too advanced yet. So that as far as how the game was different, it wasn't really any different. It was, it was pretty similar. I didn't have any trouble trying to adjust to West Coast basketball from East Coast basketball, put it like that. but it was fun. You know, I definitely learned a lot. I get a whole new perspective at different parts of the country, different people. So it's fun. It was a good experience. I'm happy I have that, you know, to look back on now. It's made me kind of the player I am today. So.
And then I read that you were 5'8" in your sophomore year of high
Yeah,
school.
I was very little. I wasn't always this big. A late bloomer. And that I had pros and cons for sure. You know, for a while you kind of worry about, you know, since basketball is my love and I want to play this game. At 5'8", I'm not thinking basketball is really gonna work out for me. And I see my brother, I see my dad, and you know, 6'1", they're not huge dudes, so I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm gonna, you know, be 6'6" like I am today. So it kind of came out of nowhere, and I'm happy it did. I'm very grateful for it, and it's worked out well thus far.
And then, of course, when you're smaller, you're pretty much on your Nate Robinson, where you have to just handle the ball and kind of learn how to be better than other people. So how did that kind of work in your advantage?
I mean, when I was small, it worked out well. I mean, I was never at that point. I was never really overly dominant when I was younger at basketball. And I was a decent player, and so that growth were kind of honestly put things in reverse. I kind of had to, because when you grow like that, you get all gangly, you get a little, you know, your coordination goes away. So all the shooting, all the dribbling that you had worked so hard on, kind of takes you a second to find that again as you're going through that process, because your knees hurt, your elbows, everything's just out of whack. All the athleticism you might have had when you were smaller is kind of gone because your body's going back into itself. So I guess now it's helped me, you know, once I kind of honed my skills again and got in the gym and continue to pound away at my craft. But through the process, it wasn't easy.
Your senior year of high school was a pretty big year for you. You're averaging 19 points, and then you played on all San Jose's Mercury teams. So what was that like, just coming in, of course, 5'8" your sophomore year, and now you're 6'5" in your senior year. So what was that like, just transition?
I mean, it's a night and day, you know, difference. It's something I didn't really, you know, see in my future, but I guess I'm happy it happened. It was fun. All the hard work, all the time I put into the game, to see it kind of coming to fruition at that point in my life. It was awesome, and I was happy to be in that moment and make the most of it. Great teammates, great school. So yeah, it was fun. It was a great season. I hate the way it ended, but you know, that's basketball, and sometimes that happens, obviously. But yeah, it was fun.
And then after that senior season, you took kind of an unorthodox route and went to a postgraduate. So what was the thinking just going to that post-grad, and what did you kind of feel like, how would this help your game?
Well, it helped my game a lot. For one, with my confidence in the player I am, because coming out of high school, I had no offers. So that postgraduate year really allowed me to get that exposure I needed, and then all the schools that I thought I deserved, you know, in my senior year, that came around. And so for me, it meant a lot. It meant a lot to my game, and playing in such a high level league that NEPSAC is. I got to see what my game really was, you know, with players from all over the country, and I saw that I fit in well. And so it was just a confidence boost, and it was a great year. It was very fun. Basketball was at the highest level that you can get, you know, for post grad and you know, high school age group. So it was just fun. It was a great year, and I really enjoyed it. I think it was the best decision for me.
And then one of the schools that you probably thought that you deserved came around, Michigan. So what was it like when you got the call that, you know, Michigan wanted you and that you would be playing?
I mean, it's just surreal. I mean, there's really no words for it. Because I've never experienced anything like that. You know, I was never highly ranked, never highly touted player. You know, so for that to happen to me, and for that to end up being my path, it was just crazy. And obviously, I'm extremely grateful, extremely blessed. You know, and thankful to Coach Beeline for you know, seeing something in me, because it changed my life. like I said, from going to prep school and build my confidence there to then ending up at Michigan, that just, I was on cloud nine. You know, I at a high major school like that, one of the top colleges in the country, academically and athletically. Come on, now, you can't. That's not. If you told me freshman year when I'm 5'8" that I'd end up at Michigan in a few years, and get out of here, doesn't even seem possible. But it was awesome. It was great.
Like you said, Coach Beilein's a really great coach, definitely a Michigan legend. So what can you say just playing under him? And then, of course, you played with some of the most notable talent right now in the NBA with Carousel, Duncan Robinson, a whole bunch of guys. So what was that like, just playing with those guys and him as a coach?
Awesome. Coach Beilein's a great coach. Obviously, you see the players that are in the NBA now. I mean, he's really a great coach. Really good with his players, and he teaches a lot. And so for the guys that are in the NBA now that I play with and whatnot, I mean, practice was very fun. It was very, very fun. They were very competitive. Guys wanted to get better. Guys love to compete. That's what you want. That's the environment you want to be in. That's the environment that helps you grow as a player. And so for me, it was just, taking all that in and allowing myself to grow and be the best player I can be as well. And not make it easy for them, and then not make it easier for me. So it was definitely fun, and I'm happy I got to experience that, and share the same court with those guys.
Then you had the 31-point game versus Rutgers. What do you think about that game and just completely going off?
Again, it's kind of a blackout moment, and going through it, I can't even bring up memories from it really. I just know what happened, but it's awesome. Like I said, that moments like that are the reason, that we play this game, and that you just love it, because for any kid, especially me, in the journey I've had with basketball, to do that and to have that moment, it's incredible. That's not what I'm used to, so for me to be in that situation and have that level of success and see that, it was just crazy, and an experience that I'll cherish forever, because it's on that stage, playing at that school. There's no words to describe it. Just very, very blessed and grateful for that to be me.
Then, of course, you made the decision to come back down south when your dad got the job at UCF. So what was the decision making coming down to UCF, and what were you seeing in that team, especially, and where your game would fit in?
Well, I knew that UCF was a young school. And so for me, I knew what Michigan already had. I knew the tradition they had, but I knew that UCF didn't have any tradition really. And so that'd be something away for me to leave my imprint on the school, a new school, one, and also help my father do what he wants to do and create the program he wants to create. And I can be somebody who lays the groundwork to make that happen. So that was really it. I wanted to help him, and obviously he helped me. And for the father-son relationship, that's awesome. Not many guys get to play for their father. So for me, it was extremely special. And yeah, it's just, those 3 years flew by. And I think from the time I got there to the time I left, and even now, I think the goals that I had going into that, they all came, they all happened. So it was fun, it was awesome, and I thank my dad for allowing me to join him in the UCF nights, because that was an awesome experience.
And before your 3 years were able to go by, you had to sit out because of transfer rules, and then you come back the next season and you're injured. So what was that entire just stretch looking like for you, and how did you kind of just stay together, especially not playing basketball for that long?
Yeah, sitting out 2 years in a row really, it's very eye-opening. Puts a lot of things in perspective. It'll show you how much you love the game and what reasons you have to play. And so for me, I learned a lot about myself, and that this is a game that I really do love, and we'll do anything to play, and we'll do anything to get back on that court. So I just focus on being the best team that I could be, and helping those guys that are playing, and do what I can. Obviously, I'm not on the court, so being a teammate, helping guys out with advice or any knowledge I may have with my basketball experience, and just helping them to be the best players they can be, really. And so it's tough. It sucks. I wish that on no player. But it happens. That's the game, and it teaches you a lot about life. as well, because at any moment, the game can be taken from you. And you see that with a lot of players. And so you got to be grateful and put the work and put the time in, because ultimately you want to have no regrets with this. So for me, like I said, I know I put the time and I know I put the work in, and things happen. So it hurt, but it was easy for me to accept that that's what it is now, and for me to just bounce back from it. Because like I said, I'm not the first guy to have unfortunate things happen to. I won't be the last. And so who would I be to make excuses and wallow in that pity? Let me just bounce back and lead on my players and my teammates to come out of this better. And that's what I do.
And then when you finally got that green light, you were able to play. You had to go off, and you did. The 36 game against Temple, and then just so many other great games that you had. So what was it like just playing with the team that was still building, and finally being able to play?
I mean, that's the exact reason why I came to UCF, for those moments just like that. And to be a leader, to make something happen at UCF, to take them somewhere they've never been before, with me, BJ Taco, all my teammates, Terrell Allen, obviously, all those guys, even the guys that I was, there with that I sat out, but that they were playing, all those guys, just to take UCF somewhere they've never been before. And I think that's what we did ultimately. We got better every season. And yeah, it just, all that work that I put in that I wanted to let just show, and I wanted to let everybody see, and prove to myself I could do it. I did, and I'm proud of myself that I didn't let the setbacks discourage me from being the player I know I can be.
And then we have to bring it up, the NCAA game versus Duke. Aside from just the whole game and of course the outcome that it had, what did you just remember about being in that NCAA tournament? Like you said, you're playing with your teammates in a team that's still building a culture. So what was that like, just going through that entire tournament?
I mean, that's the dream come true right there. Like I said, all that time, the 5 years of high school, the 5 years of college, that's that moment right there when you step on that court in during March Madness. That's what you do it for. That's the ultimate glory, the ultimate victory. That is it. And so I remember just thinking kind of just that. Even before our first game, like the fact that we made it here, this team, through all the ups and downs, all the struggles, we made it. Is it the achievement that we're gonna, the ultimate goal? No, obviously we want to win a national championship, but just to make it to that step, in the time we did is a feat in its own. So I was definitely proud of myself, proud of my teammates, proud of my dad, the coaching staff, because that's big. That's big for UCF. And obviously that game is unfortunate the way it happened. But I mean, it was a heck of a ride, and it's sad and it hurts. But when you look back on how we got there and all the moments that put us in that position, I mean, you can't help but smile. And it comes down to one shot, and sometimes it goes, sometimes it doesn't. And in this case, it didn't go. And that's, like I said, that's the way life works sometimes.
And then you and Zion ended up connecting after that season because you were on Exhibit 10 with the Pelicans. So how was that, just seeing Zion in that last game versus Duke, and then you guys are back in New Orleans?
Yeah, it was a quick turnaround there. And it's just like, yeah, what are the odds? Like that whole from that Duke game to being with the Pelicans and whatnot. It's very crazy, the odds of all that happening. And it's funny. We talked about it a lot of good laughs. And I mean, ultimately they came out with the win. So there's not much that can really be said. It's just, it was a great game on both sides, and any team would have deserved to win. I wish it was us, but I mean, there's not much more to be said about it. But yeah, it was really cool to be his teammate for that short stint. And it's fun.
And of course, you ended up with the Erie Bayhawks. So what was that like? I mean, I was seeing every single day that UCF was posting on Twitter, it was Aubrey Dawkins dunk every other day. So what was it like just playing there and being able to play as well as you did for as long as you did?
I mean, that's again, that's a step in the journey, right? So it was a fun experience in Erie. A learning experience first year being a pro, and I learned a lot. I think I got better. Obviously, I went through an injury, going through that process with my knee. So that it was that was a kind of a tough curve for me to get around, because once you become pro, a lot of that is on you now. There's nobody telling you to get in the gym or telling you to work on your body or telling you, you got to go to sleep at this time or do that. It is all you. So that's another point we have to learn, and ask yourself, how much do you want this game? How much do you love this game? What are you willing to do for this game? And for me, obviously, it was a simple equation. Same thing I've always done, and that's to work on it, get better with it, all the rehab I need to do for it, and to not let it hold me back. And so through that process, I just tried to get back to where I felt I was before that happened. And fortunately, I'm there now. But through that season, like I said, it was fun. I learned a lot. Had great teammates. The season itself wasn't overly successful, but we know from a wins-losses standpoint. But again, it comes back to that's just life and that's basketball. You got to go through those ups and downs. Everyone's not going to be, sunshine and rainbow. Sometimes you got to go through the gutter to get to where you want to be, to see that light. So I enjoyed it. It was a great experience overall.
And now you're on to your newest chapter, which is Germany. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the team because we're not going to disrespect. Not trying to get kicked out the border. But what was it like just getting that call? And when you heard that it was Germany, was it like Germany, or is it like, Germany?
I mean, it's when you have open mind and things like that, you see the great opportunity for what it is. So I was excited. I was excited from the jump. And I've never been to Germany. Only been to Europe once before this. So for me, it was I mean, almost a no-brainer. Like, why wouldn't I want to go experience that? To go see the world, to get out of my comfort zone and be somewhere else. Just to learn, about different cultures, about different people. We spend so much time in the States, and there's a big world out there. And so, not just about basketball. There's a lot more to learn and a lot more to experience out here in this world than just putting that ball in the hoop. So I knew on that front, I'll be getting a lot more than just basketball. But on top of that, the basketballs are great. A very great league, very good team. And you get better over here. Really big on player development and playing basketball, the right way and playing it for the right reasons, all that kind of stuff. So it's been fun. It's been very fun, and it's a kind of a breath of fresh air to step away from what I've been used to and come over here and meet new people. So I've enjoyed it, and being in different areas as well.
And with all of that being said, you obviously had a unique journey that's defined you as a player and as a person.
Yes.
So what would you say to younger guys that are coming up under you who might have the same type of, unique journeys, or might be like, man, it's not working out for me, or I'm not really feeling too hot today. So what was your advice for those types of guys?
I mean, there's plenty of cliche things I could say. You can't get discouraged if you're chasing your dream and something you really, really love. You're gonna go through the ups and downs. You can't look at your periods or look to your left and right and see guys who just seem to have made it easy. You can't get stuck in thinking that's how it's supposed to be. And for the majority of guys, it's not like that. And even for those guys who seem to have made it easy, they all have things going on in their lives too that you may not see. So you can't get caught up in what somebody else is doing. You got to stay focused on you, keep your head down, and just keep working and chase it and pursue it and be genuine about it. Be true to yourself, because you can't cheat it. You can't cheat it. Just keep your head down, keep working, keep pushing. And eventually one day you'll be able to look up and realize all the work you put in was for this moment, for this reason. And you'll be happy you did, because the one thing you don't want to do is have regrets about it. So make the right sacrifices, prioritize what you want, and just go for it.
I feel like I'm going to cry. I'm about to write this down as soon as we're done. Now looking very, very ahead, could you see yourself coaching? Now, are we going to see UCF have a new Aubrey Dawkins as head coach? Like, what's going on there?
I don't. Coaching is, right now at this very moment. No, coaching does not seem like something I want to do. Especially, I've been on my dad my whole life. I've seen what he does. I've seen the work he puts in, the hours, and it's a tough job. People don't realize being a coach, especially in college, that's a tough gig. That's a year round. You're on the job. So he's done a great job. He's a great example. But for me, I don't think that will be my path. And it's funny, he said these same things when he was playing. And now look at him. So not right now. I don't see myself being a coach, but I guess down the line, it's very, very, very possible. But I guess the time will tell, right? We'll see.
Time will. So we'll keep that in the back of your mind when you're ready for an assistant. You just my phone. It'll be the first female assistant. But thank you so much, Aubrey, for talking to me. Your story is obviously unique to you, and just the advice, real good advice. So thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.